I'm Hans, and this is my channel. Thank you guys for being here. If you haven't been here before, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today we are going to be taking a look at my old helmet, and we're going to rig up my new helmet with a vlogging system. I always see these guys riding their motorcycles, talking while they're riding, which actually would save me a ton of time because I could just kind of tell you what I think of the bike as I'm riding it. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up. Let's go! I kind of mocked up what I want to do with the new helmet on this helmet. They're both Bell helmets and kind of have the same form function. So I went ahead and just kind of mocked up how I was going to use my GoPro mount there for the audio. So in my personal opinion, the Hero 8 was one of the better cameras that GoPro has made in a long time. The Hero 9, I didn't get along with it very well. This is the Insta360 This thing packs a lot of punch. This thing has a lot of options with the 360 lens, because I got the dual mode, the twin edition, I should say. It's got the screen on the back, so you can turn that around when you're vlogging. It's actually a really, really good camera. I've been very impressed. The size difference is pretty negligible, but I don't know. It's enough to make me say, oh, I'd rather just grab this if I'm going to go do a quick video somewhere. So I'm going to start out using this. Now, the downside is to the GoPro is I have to have this gigantic audio block on the side of my helmet to get that to work. Where the Insta360, I only have to have this little tiny dongle that plugs into the side right here, and then you basically plug your microphone right there. So there's positive and negatives on both sides. I've just used the Hero 8 a lot more, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on my helmet. All I'm going to be using is one of these little J hooks, and we're going to put the camera so that it sits just like this. One of the things you have to think about when you're mounting your camera on your helmet is your helmet sits flat like this on a table, but when you're riding, your head is kind of like this. So you've got to be able to get that camera to tilt back enough so that it's pointing straight forward. Otherwise, you're just going to see down at your instrument cluster, and good enough, you know, it's cool, but that is not what we're doing here. We want to see the road. We want to see everything. The instruments, the road, hands. I don't know how wide we're going to be able to get it, but we're going to find out. So I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I kind of mocked this up, so I'm going to go ahead and take this off. I'm going to put my little cheek supports back in here, and we're going to do this with the real helmet right now. So here's the new helmet. What do you guys think? I don't know. Don't tell me, because you guys, I don't know. I like it. That's all that matters. So what I want to do is mount this thing first. Pretty simple. Everybody's done this. But there's a couple things to consider while you're doing this. You have this curve that goes this way. You also have a little curve that goes this way. So which mount do we want to use to mount this up? And then we want to make sure it's nice and centered on there like this. And as I put that thing on, I can feel it rocking back and forth this way. This mount may not be the mount that I need. These are not the droids you're looking for. I can't find anything that's going to work better than the one that I had. But because it did that little rocking motion, kind of because of the front of the helmet being a little curved, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take some 3M tape and put 2 small strips on each side so I get some coverage here and on both sides. That should fix it. So let's go ahead and try that out. So I didn't do very well in arts and crafts when I was a kid, believe it or not, but that's kind of what it's going to look like. I know I didn't cut those very straight, but it should do the trick. So on the front of this, we're going to go ahead and center it as good as I can while I'm trying to show this to you guys. That's pretty good. And then we'll just kind of push that on. Oh yeah, it's totally seated in there. I could totally feel it just kind of, and now when I try to move it back and forth, it's not moving. Perfect. That will work. Now we got to mount this. So I kind of want to mount this thing first so I can get the camera where it's going to go. So we'll kind of push that down, get that thing on there. Camera's going to go on like so. So we'll get that thing mounted on there like that. And I'm just going to throw this in here so it doesn't fly off while I'm trying to test fit this. But basically this mount has to plug into the side of the camera right here. So I want to plug it in and get the distance right so that when this thing is mounted and it's mounted correctly, it should look like that. So I'm going to have it kind of mounted all the way back here against the mount itself. If I have this thing straight, it's going to look like the camera's pointing up, but I know that when I ride, it's going to be more like this. So I'm going to shoot it in wide or like a 1440 so that I can actually move it in post and adjust it as well. So that's where we want that, which means that this part is going to need to go right here. And you can see that this is going to rock again. This thing's got a lot of movement in it. So we're going to put one piece of tape there and one piece of tape here, and then it'll just kind of sit right there. So that's how I did it on the other helmet when I mocked it up, so it should be fine. Let's do that really quick. So we're going to put one piece on this side, one piece on this side over here. So it kind of looks like that when we're ready to put it onto the side of the, you can see right now because they're on each side like that, now it's not rocking back and forth. I can't even make it rock. I can make it rock, but you know what I mean. This is looking good. I don't have a lot of wiggle room here, but I have enough that I can adjust the camera wherever I want it. If I find out that I do actually ride with my head like this, then, you know, whatever. So the other thing I forgot to tell you guys about is what all of this stuff is over here. I didn't just have like a messy table. I actually had a reason for this. I bought these microphones, which came with a couple of different cords and came with this microphone extension. So you can see that. And it came with this microphone. I thought this was going to work pretty well, except for this is a TRRS connector on here. My GoPro uses a TRS. So does the Insta360 adapter here. So you need, instead of having two rings right there, you need to get this that has one ring. So after buying this one, and this is going to work fine with like my DSLRs or anything else, so I'm going to keep them. It's always good to have these laying around. I ordered these. I don't know what's going on with Amazon these days, but you have to wait like 10 days to get anything, even if you order at Prime. I'm a Prime member and I'm feeling a little gypped, but I don't know. The world's crazy right now. I don't know. Wow, this is a two. Whoa, holy. Whoa. Oh my gosh, look at this. Is that like a nose thing for? No, that's not what that is. But wow, how cool is that? Some colorful wind socks. You gotta have those. I mean, that's gotta have those. What if you're wearing a red shirt or a really yellow shirt? You're covered. You're gonna show up and look like a pro. So this microphone set has the TRRS, which, to my surprise, because in the description it said it's not a TRRS, but it does have this, and it only has one of them. It seems like it would have two because there's two microphones. This is a TRS, so I'm assuming that if I plug these two things in together, at this point, I should be able to get pretty decent audio out of this microphone. Out of all that stuff that they sent me, I am actually not even going to use this foam windsock that they sent me with this one. I'm going to use the foam windsock that they sent me with, is that upside? Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, with that one. Gonna make the best of it. You can buy these separately, so I would have bought it separately, but I did see that it came in that, and I kind of figured I would just go ahead and keep both. But it's got a little hole in the bottom of it here, and we're just going to stick the microphone in there. And then we're going to find a really good spot right inside of the helmet right here. Typically, when you're using one of these lav mics, you'll put it down a little bit on a jacket. This is the one I'm using right now, so I have it turned way down so I'm not blowing out my speakers. This one being in this sock is probably going to be muffled quite a bit, so I'm going to just have to do some adjusting to see how it sounds, but it's going to be really close to my face like this when I'm talking inside the helmet. So we're going to need to either adjust the volume and the audio here, or we're going to have to figure out a way to make less sound come through this. I'm hoping that this is going to work. We're going to plug this guy in. So now we're even going further back. You can see we've got this gigantic thing coming from the camera going way back here just because that's how I wanted to mount it. Now I've got these two cords going way back here. So I'm using up a lot of real estate on this side of the helmet just to get this to work. If I had just one little plug that I could plug in here and make that work, that would be way more convenient. And there's a pretty good chance I might hit this thing with my hand or something and break it off inside of here. Let's go ahead and move forward. We're gonna go ahead and find a place inside of here. All this stuff kind of pops out. It all kind of snaps into place. So it's gonna be fairly easy, but we'll just find a place to kind of tuck all this stuff in. And then I'm gonna bring the microphone over on the inside here. And I'm gonna try to mount it right, I don't know, maybe in the middle, maybe on the side here. I'm gonna tuck this thing up underneath here. Simple, easy, kind of temporary to find out if this is really gonna work and what I want it to do. And then this guy will just kind of run right up on the side. And once I get this thing kind of really working and where I want it, I can take some hot glue and just kind of tap these things down. All right, guys, so this is the setup. Let's go ahead and put this thing on, see if it works. You can see how if I'm riding, the position of the camera is still going to be facing down quite a bit. But I guess I'll try to consciously kind of lift my head up like this a little bit. But yeah, that should work really good. That's kind of what I was worried about. It's just like it sits right here up on my chin. So I might try to move it over a little bit to the side and see if I can get a little more room in there. But yeah, it's kind of up to you, wherever you guys want to put it. I'm going to go for a ride. We're going to test this thing out. Let's go ahead and see what it sounds like right now. So it's a great commuter. It's definitely a cool little bike just to get on, get to work, get to the grocery store, go downtown. Like I was saying, you know, maybe you got a buddy that has one, or get one for your wife, and what a cool way to get around and just kind of enjoy a day. Go see some sights, go explore some roads you haven't been down. Thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next video. Let's go!